All right, guys. How's this? Am I looking sexy? All right, anybody there? I see one person, two people. Two people there. Let's see. Oh, we got a thumbs up. Can we hear me? Hey, Yoshi, how you doing? Oh, we got seven people. Nine people. Wow. I wasn't sure anybody would show up. 10 people. Hey, how's it going, guys? Yay. So, for those of you guys that were on the other live stream that I was trying to do, I was trying to do that from my laptop, having my DSLR connected to my laptop, and I don't know, it was just complicated. Now I am on the iPad, and hey Stan, how you doing? Uh, so just giving this a try right now. Didn't really have any topic to really talk about to you guys tonight. Just was wanting to test out YouTube Live. It's something I've never done before, so thought I would give it a bit of a try. How's everybody doing? Anybody have anything exciting going on tonight? I guess I don't. My boys are upstairs playing video games. My wife went to bed already. Mother-in-law's in bed already, so just chilling out. So, hey, Todd, how's it going? Glad to see you here. Hey, Regina. Let's see, does the Spark, Yoshi asks, does the Spark have vision system like Phantom 3 4K? I'm not sure what you're talking there. So the Spark does have um, sensors forward and down. When it talks about vision sensors, I think you're kind of talking about the downward vision sensors, but I'm not quite sure. Maybe ask a more detailed question on that. The Spark sensors are vision sensors, downward vision sensors that sense how high it is off the ground and help keep it when it's down low, helps keep it from moving around. It helps kind of hover in place, especially when there's no GPS, like if you're inside, for instance. Those are not near as powerful as they are on the Phantom, especially the Phantom 4. So, Yoshi, I think that was you that was asking. Does that answer your question? I'm not sure if it does. So yeah. Anyways, let's see what else we got. Ah, cool. Hey, Michael, how you doing? Klondike. Maybe that's an autocorrect. What do you think? I don't know. Hey, Jenna, how you doing? Um, so, like I said, I really didn't have anything planned. So if you guys got questions, maybe we can just turn this into a little Q&A. We can hang out for a little bit. Like I said, I don't have a whole lot going on, but let's see, Todd. Funny story. Flying a tiny whoop-style micro drone inside Ishin and crash lands. Where's I don't know how do the messages? Where do the messages go? I gotta figure this out. Where do the messages go? Oh, anyways, yeah, no worries on that. I was just messing with you there. Uh, More giveaways. That sounds like a good idea. I'd like to do giveaways. I'm a little cautious on how that exactly works. And by the way, I just pulled up the live stream on my computer, and the thumbnail, that has to be the most awful thumbnail I've ever seen. That is crazy. Regina, I apologize, but I don't speak Spanish. So I'm not sure exactly what you asked there. You would think that I would know more Spanish than I do. I took probably 4 years of Spanish in high school, and unfortunately, my Spanish teacher was not all that interested in teaching us. So I don't know a whole lot more than "Hola, ¿cómo estás?" Hey, how's it going? Um, Anybody have any questions? Good night, Regina. Jenna, just want to say that I got a Mavic for Christmas and I took my Part 107 today and passed. Hey, congratulations, Jenna. That is awesome. Da, 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 da. Oh, thanks for the good comments. Hey, how's Costa Rica? I'm guessing it's much warmer than it is here in the Midwest of the U.S. It was earlier when we were out, it was 10 degrees Fahrenheit, which is, I don't know what that is in, let's see, 10 FNC. That is minus 12 Celsius. So it was a pretty chilly night here tonight. Oh, Cardoso, hope I'm saying that right. Almost lost my Spark a few weeks ago due to a flyaway. Oh, that's no good. Was it a compass error? Hey, welcome from Brazil. Did you have a fly? You mentioned you had a flyaway. Sorry, the comments are flying past, and I can't see the names real well. And I got a terrible memory. Yeah, Cardoso, yes, compass error. Yeah, so those are pretty prevalent. The only comment I can say on that is really try and avoid metal objects. So especially when you're taking off and flying near big metal objects, the compass on the Spark seems to be super sensitive, and so you really got to watch out for that. So I don't know if that was actually your particular problem. But I know that I had a flyaway once shortly after I got my Spark, and it was all my fault. So I flew it very near a large metal windmill. It was a metal structure with a windmill up the top, and I flew very near it. And after I had the crash, I had the flyaway. It actually when I went back and evaluated the flight and looked at it, what I noticed was that the Spark thought it was pointing one direction, so it was physically pointed south, but because of the compass and the magnetic interference, it was actually thought it was pointing to the west. And so that's one of those things that you can do is just to kind of double check to make sure that the red arrow down in the bottom left corner is pointed to the right way. So that's certainly something to watch out for. Is stay away from any big metal objects when you're flying your Spark, whether that's taking off or in the air. So okay, Yoshi, DJI Spark over the Phantom 3 standard because of your videos. Thanks for the help. I hope that was a good decision for you. Hoping DJI releases new DJI Go 4 app. Always such a gap between firmware releases and Go 4. Yeah, they always DJI is interesting how they do their app releases and their firmware updates. They don't ever coordinate those, do they? I think I had included a rant in one of my videos probably about a month or so ago about that, and I don't know. I find it very curious how they do that. They put out updates in their firmware or whatever, or in their the app. They say, "Hey, I've got this new feature, and it's going to be there in version .22." But you go weeks and you don't have .22 around. So that's very interesting. New Hampshire from Boston. It's too cold to fly. Yeah, I bet it's pretty cold that direction. By the way, your RTH video is the gold standard for new Spark pilots. You know what? I recorded that video, that RTH video, probably 3 or 4 different times. And first time I realized that I didn't know what the heck I was talking about, that I thought I knew how RTH worked. But when I actually went through and actually did it, it didn't work like I thought it worked. And I think that is how a lot of Spark pilots are. They think they know how return to home works. You may have even read the manual, you've played around with it a little bit, but until you actually really dive into it, it's a little bit more complex than convoluted than I think it should be. Yoshi, you can go over 400 feet. Legally, you're supposed to stay under 400 feet unless you're within 400 feet of an object or like a building or a tower or something like that. And then you can be 400 feet over the top of that. So Todd, going out over back to the RTH. So I recorded that video like 3 or 4 different times. It's still, I go back and look at it and I think, oh man, that's terrible editing, terrible. But it is what it is. And by the time my camera died, when I was near the end, out in my backyard doing the example flights, it was really one of those things things that when it died, I was just like, you know what? I've already recorded this 3 times. F it. It's going to be good enough. Nobody's going to actually watch 20 minutes of this stuff anyways. So, and it's funny the number of comments that I've got. Hey, you got to go back and re-record that because that's important information that you missed. And so I apologize for those guys, but it's hey, Fleabag Productions, thanks for joining us. Appreciate it. Anyway, so that RTH video was an interesting one to put together. And in hindsight, as popular as it's been, it's my most popular video so far. It's got the most hits and minutes, I think. It's I wish I would have went back and recorded it one more time and done it correct all the way through. So, you know, live and learn. It is what it is. So yeah. Why can't fly my Spark indoors? Can you please give me a reason? So I would have to know a bit more about what sort of problems you're having. I haven't really flown my Spark indoors very much. I have done little bits. If you've seen, I made a video about the tripod mode. I flew it indoors a little bit for that, but it was really just kind of sitting there. But I really haven't flown mine indoors a whole lot. At least in my house, there's really not a whole lot of reason to be flying it. I would like to take it up to my boys' school gymnasium, and I think Yoshi, I think I saw you say something about gymnasium in one of your comments that flipped by. That's something I've been thinking about doing as well. Is taking it up to the gym and kind of flying around and seeing how it works, but I haven't done that yet. And I actually have another little, it's like a little $30 drone that a company had sent me that I want to, it's just a dumb drone, but with the weather out here that I've got, you know, a lot of wind and stuff with the winter, I kind of want to take it up to the gym and fly it around and see and play with it up there. But you know, it's one of those things, finding time to do that kind of stuff. So. All right, let's see. Coach Greg Neff got my wife a Spark for Christmas. So did you get your wife the Spark for Christmas, or is that like one of those things like Tim Allen, you know, where you want a power tool and so you buy it for your wife and give it to her? Anyways, hopefully that's not the case. Hopefully she really did want it. Okay, I'm just messing with you. Yes, so got your wife a Spark for Christmas because of your review and instructional videos. What videos do you suggest for new Spark owner? Ooh, that's a good question. So one of my videos that, and I apologize for the lighting. This is trying to look at the computer screen. Yeah, anyways, I didn't set up lighting for this, so totally grainy and terrible. But one of my videos that I don't know, it hasn't been really well received, I don't think. I have to go back and look and see what it's called. I'm just trying to look here. I have 5 tips for new owners, so that is one that maybe to look at. I kind of like one of the other guys was saying, the RTH video. I think every Spark owner should know about RTH, return to home. So that is a video that I think is useful. I think that something every DJI Spark pilot should know before they fly. You know what? There's a tutorials playlist. If you go look at the playlists, there is a tutorials playlist, and that actually contains most of those videos. They're not necessarily in the order I would want them shown, but for instance, I don't know, if you really want to get into doing videos and stuff, the neutral density filters is a good one. Let's see, mastering the camera. That's again, if you want to learn a lot about camera. That's not necessarily about the drone. Return to home one I think is a good one. something every DJI Spark pilot should know before they fly. The LED status indicators, I think that's a good one to watch. Let's see, the and then the recent one, the antenna one, about where to point your antennas, I think is something, because I've seen a lot of people pointing their antennas with the tips pointed at their Spark, and that's not really where you want to do it. You want to have the flat side pointed at your Spark. So those are the ones that for myself that I think are useful for new users, and I plan to do some more of those videos as well. Let's see, there was I think a guy by the name of Wanderworks or something like that put out one yesterday that was pretty good. There's a lot of good videos out there. Hopefully I get some more out there soon that'll be pretty comprehensive. So we'll see. Let's see. So let me try not to go off the screen here. Apologize for this, but it's easier to look at the live chat on the screen. So let's see. Just got my Spark a few weeks ago. Have done a few flights. Still trying to trust it. Will not fly away. Maurice, I'm not sure what to say about that. I think the biggest problem with flyaways is that you get compass problems. So, like I was mentioning earlier in the live chat, make sure you stay away from big metal objects, whether that's during your takeoff or during your flight. Now, of course, I've seen lots of flights where it didn't seem like there were big metal objects, but people still got compass errors. I don't have an explanation for that, but I can definitely say stay away from big metal objects so that you don't get compass errors. And then when you get compass errors, it's going to go into ADI mode for sure, and that's where people get into problems. Now, this is one of the things that I'm actually personally working on for myself, and if you guys checked out the video that I posted today about the world's tiniest drone, you will see that I am an absolute terrible pilot when it comes to flying a dumb drone. Now, that little world's tiniest quadcopter is probably not the best one to try and learn on, but it showed how bad of a pilot I really am. And that's what happens when the Spark goes into ADI mode. It's a dumb drone like that. It's a dumb quadcopter, and it's going to behave just like that stupid little world's smallest quadcopter. You're going to have very little control over it. And so learning to fly a dumb drone, I think, is really the best thing that someone can do to try and prevent having a flyaway, is that if the Spark does go into ADI mode, that you have the skills to be able to control it. And so you're probably actually going to be seeing some videos from me sometime in the very near future, I hope, about this topic, because it's something that I believe strongly in, and I would love for you to, for all of us to get to be very good pilots. And if we do get in that position to, not have a flyaway, or at least a controlled flyaway where you can save it, so you don't lose it and hopefully don't crash it into something terribly bad. So that's what I'm looking for. So those are really my two biggest pieces of advice, Maurice, is to learn how to fly a dumb drone, because if it does go into ADI mode, then you'll be able to control it. But also stay away from any metal objects so that you're less likely to get compass errors. And the third thing is learn how the drone works. Now, DJI, they got slick commercials, slick advertisements, all that kind of stuff. And you know what? It's an amazing piece of technology, and it works really, really well. But it is definitely not perfect. Definitely not perfect. And so I have a video out there where I talked about, and this one, I knew it was not going to be super well received. But basically, it's talking about about the chain of events and any sort of accident, right? And and I don't even I hate to even try and compare it to like a real plane crash or we see on the news just not too long ago an Amtrak train went off the rails. In any kind of big event that happens, there's kind of a chain of events that happens leading up to a crash or something happening, and rarely is it a single thing that happens that causes it to for the event, right, the crash to happen. And a lot of times I kind of frequent the forums on forum.dji.com, and I try and it's one of the ways I try and learn is kind of diving into what other people have experienced when they had crashes and looking at their logs and looking at their videos and stuff. And a lot of times, when they first post about it, their flyaway, they have they're just it's all about the Spark. The Spark had this problem, the Spark had this problem. And then when you dive into it, you see that, oh well, they had these errors early on and they just ignored them and they kept flying and they went 2,000 feet away still, right? So it's things like that, and then they lost their drone, right? 8 minutes into the flight, when a minute into the flight, they were getting these other errors and they didn't stop and go down, right? So it's a lot of it also is, putting your Spark in the right place. And there's actually a video that I've put out about that. I forget what the name of the video is, but it's something about I forget what it is. Yeah, Spark will take a lot of mistakes and abuse. I agree with the Explorer Fever. The video is on the thumbnail. It says "Safety Third." That's an ode to Micro of Dirty Jobs fame. But it's DJI Spark prevent flyaways and crashes with a pre-flight safety list, and that's one of the ways I think to kind of give yourself some confidence. Cardoso, I think that who was it? Maurice had asked the question that to get yourself some confidence is go through a pre-flight checklist, right? And I have a video where I talk about that, about pre-flight checklist. Maybe mine's not perfect, but that's one of the ways that you can kind of dive in and figure out. Or get yourself some confidence, right? If you've kind of done, you've checked things out, that maybe that's gonna help you out and get you a little bit more confident. It does for me, anyways. If I've gone through and I've checked a bunch of things and I verify, oh, things look good, then to me, that gives me more confidence. If I verify that my Spark is pointed to the north, and in the software it's actually showing that it's pointing to the north, well, that tells me very likely the compass is probably okay, as opposed to the flight where I had the ADI mode flyaway that I crashed into a utility pole, right? It was not pointing the right way. So if I would have done a pre-flight check, I would have noticed that. All right. Todd had mentioned getting an eSheen, $14, $35 from Banggood. Yep, I agree. Those are some good little devices to play around with, and try and learn how to fly like that. Let's see, Yoshi, white spark bounces off the ground, then goes in the air, and then it bounces back on the ground. Let's see. Yeah, that's a follow-on to your previous question. Let's see. Let me find where. So flying indoors, right? Bounces off the ground, then goes in there and bounces back on the ground. Huh. I've not seen or heard that behavior, Yoshi. I apologize. I wish I had an answer for you. Maybe some of the other guys in the chat can help out with that. Not really sure. That's not been my experience with the Spark flying indoors. It's worked pretty well for me, actually. Like I said, I did a tripod video, and you can see that it was sitting there hovering perfectly fine. The optical recognition, the downward sensors were in full effect. So I'm not sure. I don't suppose you have anything underneath it. Do you have any of the legs or um, or anything like that? Sorry, Lino, Lino PR, Clue, you really know how to talk too much, but you're still the man. You know what? It's funny because I'm actually a pretty shy dude. in in real life, sometimes it takes me a little bit, but sometimes when you get me going, something I think I know about and maybe don't actually know about, I just keep talking and don't shut up. So you got me figured out, dude. I appreciate. But Yoshi, yeah. So did Yoshi only thing I think barometer VPS is not working right? Assuming it works outdoors. Yeah. So I don't know. Okay. I wish I had an answer for you. Maybe one of the other guys would be able to give you more. Uh, let's see. Manual. Hi, Kluji. Had my first crash today. Oh no. Sorry, dude. Sorry to hear that. Uh, one propeller tends to lag when starting and also turns off. And also, if I hold the motor on that one propeller, it gets hotter than all the other ones. Yeah, that doesn't sound good. That sounds like maybe you want to open a ticket with DJI support. Not sure what part of the world you're in. Hopefully, you're in one of the countries where they have good support. Um, but yeah, you might want to open a ticket about that just to be sure. Sorry to hear about your crash. Let's see. All right. Well, this was kind of fun. When's Mavic 2 Pro 2 coming out, and what are you expecting? That is a good question. DJI is pretty tight to the vest on what they have coming out. I think, unfortunately for us consumers, that DJI doesn't have any real competitors, right? I mean, you look at the Unique, you look at any of them out there, the Karma, any of those, they really aren't solid competitors to what DJI has. So, you know what? They don't have to be in a hurry in releasing new versions. You know what? They can maximize their profit on what they already have out, and just with Mavic, they can put out a platinum version, which is just new propellers and an ESC, and they can put out a white version, and everybody gets excited about it and buys more, and they don't have to. But I wouldn't be surprised to see a new version of one of the drones sometime in the spring. But it'll be interesting. Jenna, stay tuned. CES is next week or so. Maybe something will be announced then. That would be awesome, wouldn't it? I would be a little bit surprised if they announced something so soon after Christmas, but maybe that's the best time to announce, right? They already got everybody to buy everything for Christmas. They're unloading stuff. They lowered prices for Christmas and so on. Now if CES is coming up soon, maybe it is a good time to announce something new, since their inventories are probably a bit lower. I don't know. I'm not sure what to expect. I would hope that the next version of the Spark would have 4K on it. I'd like a 3-axis gimbal on the Spark. Um, I'm not sure. I'm not sure about the Mavic Pro. I think just a better camera is really, I think, what most people are looking for. Something that's a bit closer to the Phantom 4. But that's the problem, is that DJI has to balance their different products, right? I think they've purposely hamstrung the Spark. They've purposely not put certain features into the Spark because they don't want to cannibalize the Mavic, and probably the same with the Mavic and the Phantom. Yeah, I don't know. I'll be interested to see how they play out with their lines. Yeah, Spark batteries would be nice if they were a bit lasted a bit longer. 12 minutes is not as fun as it could be if they lasted 25 minutes, right? 25, 35 minutes, that would be fantastic. But yeah, I think if you ask people in Europe, what they want out of the Spark is they want better reception. They're hamstrung with without the FCC guidelines for or regulations for their Wi-Fi, and so they're kind of struggling over there. Um, OTG cable support would be great, right? That fixes some of the problems that people are having. All right, let's see what else. What other questions we got? Wow, I didn't expect to go 30 minutes here on just kind of a random jumping on. Hope you guys are enjoying this. I'm actually having fun answering questions and interacting with you guys. Stan, they just come out with a platinum. It's a big improvement. Yeah, I like the noise and the little bit of time improvement for the platinum. I like that. Let's see. DJI and Apple are just alike. They will release new stuff every year. So, yeah. The question is how big will it be? Right. The Phantom, they have just released incremental updates. You're right. They start off with the Phantom 4, then the Phantom Standard, then the Phantom this, and the Phantom 4 this, and the Phantom 4 Pro, and they, just adding kind of incremental stuff. I think what people are really looking for is like the Phantom 5 that's going to be, drastically different. Explorer Fever, not even close, my man, not even close. Oh, man. Let's see. Todd, DJI released earlier in the year some motors for the FPV racing crowd. Just recently, they released racing goggles. I'm thinking they'll be releasing a really. Man, I can't even read. Sorry, guys. And I'm putting my thumb over the camera. I'm thinking they will be releasing a racing quad with maybe GPS in the future. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if people want. Do you think people want a racing quad with GPS? I'm not close enough to that scene to really to know, but I'm not sure that GPS would be fast enough for that to keep up with the racing quad. Those racing quads are insane. I can't even get that little world's smallest quadcopter to work, and those guys are flying 100 miles an hour, screaming through stuff. Pretty crazy. Yeah, that's my thought as well, Jenna. Is GPS would slow it down. Uh, I'm not sure that DJI has much aspirations for getting serious about the FPV world, but that's an interesting thought. Manual just ordered a Furby F-36. Have you flown one or heard anything of them? I have seen some about those. Is that one that I think that's a pretty small one that's pretty quick, isn't it? Um, I'm not close enough to the FPV scene and that stuff yet to recall the details of them. But there's a guy out of Australia named he's got a channel UAV feature. What is it? UAV something. Anyways, he's always UAV futures. Thanks, Todd. You watch him as well? Yeah, thanks, John. So you guys all know him as well. So I think he's got about 100,000 followers out there, and he's always doing reviews on new FPV and does a fantastic job of it. I think that's where I saw the Furby F-36. I would like to fly one, but I don't know a whole lot about them. Let's see. Todd, FPV quad for long range distance. The problem is most regulations, long range is the problem, right? Most here in the U.S. we supposedly have visual line of sight. I'm sorry for sticking my thumb in front of the camera the entire time and not looking at you guys. Trying to look at the, I don't know. Anyways, trying to figure this out. So let's see. Clue, Happy New Year. Hope your channel takes off in 2018. Really appreciate it. Thanks, Lionel PR. Appreciate it. Happy New Year to you too. I hope everybody has a fantastic 2018. I'm hoping this channel keeps growing. I've really enjoyed making these videos, and hope to be able to continue doing it. Sometimes life gets in the way, but it is what it is. So let's see, Stan. I think new Phantom will have a whole new design since everyone has cockroach the design. I agree with you there. I think that I think that they also have to do a little bit about the size. So I think it might have legs that move, right? But it will be interesting to see what they do there. I think with the Phantom, they also have to do something with the design so that they don't get so much propeller in videos. It seems like there's a lot of propeller in Phantom videos when you're starting to move forward. But that's my view, I guess. Any thoughts on how intrusive you think the regs might get? You know what? You just never know what's going to happen. The problem is that it takes one bad event to happen, and then people start jumping, right? I mean, that's how pretty much most laws are made. Is most of the time they're more made around feelings and being scared about something happening as opposed to something actually happening. I mean, we've had a few supposed drone strikes with, military helicopter. I think there was a plane supposedly in Canada. I don't know that they ever really proved that, but the apocalypse really hasn't happened there yet. So, if something bad does happen, expect regulations to jump pretty quickly, I think. But I don't know. I'm hoping they don't keep going. Guest spots with some of your followers. Well, Jenna, it sounds like you sound like a good volunteer. Did I see you sticking your hand up saying, "Hey, I want to do this"? Yeah, I would love to do this. I would love to figure out a way to do some do more live and do interviews and do and not even just live, but do videos with other people. I would love to do that. Um, have you seen there's a guy named Ken Heron, like the bird. He's he's quite the character. I think he's like a radio show host. He does a lot of his videos out of a radio station. He flies a Phantom 4 Pro, I believe, and he's quite the character. But he's got a show called Thursday Night Live that he does, where he does like an hour and a half live stream. And yeah, Jenna, he's funny, isn't he? He's hilarious. I wish I had half the personality he has. But yeah, he's so I would love to be able to do something like that. If somebody knows Ken, I'd love to be on his show as well. He's always bringing in other YouTubers and so on. I'd love to join in on that. But I'd also like to make videos with some of you guys. Not necessarily live ones. Live ones would be great, but getting on and Skyping and having a real face-to-face conversation, I guess, as opposed to just live chat. Let's see, how to make Spark fly with your phone. I'm not a big phone guy. I like to fly with the remote control. I personally don't like the control that you have with just the touch screen, but that's just me. Um, but it should be pretty simple. I think you just have to press and hold on the power button on the Spark for 6 or 9 seconds or something like that, and it kind of recycles whether it's trying to connect to the remote control or the phone. You guys, I'm sure some of you guys who are in this live chat are going to correct me on exactly how to do that. It's been since probably May that I've done that because I personally am a big fan of the remote control. So I think my son just came downstairs and is staring at me from the dark or something. Let's see. I have not, Todd, FAA registration. I've registered but have not yet put my info on the drone. Yeah, I'm exactly the same way. So, uh-oh, my son's trying to sneak by into the kitchen and go get something to eat. What do you think? Should I try and get him on camera, get him on live view? We'll see what the guys say here in the live chat. Yeah, Todd, I agree. I'm a big remote fan. I'm not a big fan of the remote control. But oh, Caleb, you want to come join? Here, come pop in.
Yeah. I saw that you were live streaming.
This is Caleb.
Hi.
Hey, hey,
That
yeah, well,
the Chicago Todd is
most of
correct.
the time,
Whatever.
he's a pretty good kid. He's a lot of fun. We like hanging out, don't we, buddy?
Hi, Todd.
Now, my 13-year-old, on the other hand, he's I don't know, he's really shy. I don't know why. He's afraid. I think he's afraid girls are gonna see him, or I don't know, something like that. But anyways, yeah, yeah. Stan, I agree. Caleb's a pretty cool dude. Oh yeah, he's a good kid. I don't know if you guys saw the
No, I'm not dabbing.
world's smallest. Yeah, there you go. Come on,
No.
dab it.
No. No.
That's funny, Yoshi. He dabs all the time, by the way. So, oh man. Anyways, they're both good kids for the most part. They're normal kids, so they drive me crazy occasionally, but it is. But yeah, the yes, and Todd, I agree. He definitely flew the little drone much better than I did. But yeah, I don't know that either one of us were real great at it, but I think he was. And the funny thing is that it's 14 plus, and he's not anywhere near 14 yet.
Correct.
So yeah,
OJ?
yeah, sure, I'd love a drink. Thanks, buddy. You know what? This dude right here, he is the best 10-year-old cook you'll ever find, and probably
Except for on MasterChef or something like that.
well, that's true. So maybe not compared to the MasterChef Junior kids, but he's pretty impressive. What's your favorite thing to cook?
Um. Breakfast stuff.
Oh, you should. He made from scratch. He made cinnamon rolls about 2 months ago, and these cinnamon rolls were the best cinnamon rolls you could ever want. They're way better than if any of you guys here in the U.S. have had Cinnabon or something like that. They had nothing on his cinnamon rolls. They were awesome. Yeah.
The only problem was the frosting. First time the frosting it spilled out of the bag at like 2 a.m. That was fun to clean up, right?
Oh yeah, he always decides to do stuff like that. And like he's like, "Oh, Dad, I'm making cinnamon rolls," and I was like 10 or 11 at night. But anyways, so let's see how to make Spark fly with your phone. Thanks.
Thanks, Todd.
Yeah. Yeah, he's gonna make a pretty. He's gonna have a happy lady later on in life because he loves to cook and he's really good at it. Um, all right, guys. Well, I think I'm gonna call it for now. I appreciate all you guys joining. Oh, Caleb's got
When
one
life
thing.
gives you lemons, make lemonade.
or orange juice, right? In this case. Yeah, he thinks he's funny. But anyways, appreciate all you guys joining. It's been fun. Hope you guys have a great night, and we will catch you on another video sometime soon. And hopefully we can do this some other time. Have a great night, guys, and we'll
Bye.
catch you later. All right, bye, guys. Oh, how do I kill this now? This is just like everybody says.